This is Deepa. I'm a life and a business coach. Thank you, Lisa, for giving me an opportunity to come and connect with your tribe here. A little background about myself. Originally, I'm from India. I'm based in Netherlands. I've been an expat for 11 years. While working back home, I was senior manager operations in one of the leading life insurance companies. Then in Nigeria, I was associated with few NGOs. Then we moved to Oman, and I was working as a marketing manager for a media industry. So I was always happy in my professional life, but I knew that there is something which is missing, and that's the time when I started exploring about coaching. And I happened to join one of the leading coaching schools based in US, and I think it has been a transformational journey for me since then. And I got my missing puzzle. So now from an employee, I'm an entrepreneur right now. So I'm a life and a business coach here. So the thing which I'm going to talk about today, the topic is from an employee to an entrepreneurial mindset. So I hope most of you guys would resonate with this. As Lisa told me that, most of you are transitioning from your 9 to 5 job to be an entrepreneur, or you have been an entrepreneur and you're trying to scale up your business. So during this topic, I'm going to talk about 2 enablers and 6 habits, which I think helped me when I did that transitioning from my 9 to 5 to an entrepreneur journey. So I'm going to start with enabler number 1, how to create positive mindset. So now when you're an entrepreneur, you know that, you have to be good at problem solving, you have to be a good decision maker, you need to be innovative, you need to be optimistic, you need to have a lot of enthusiasm, so on and so forth. So we need so many skill sets. The one thing which is really, really important is you need a mindset primed for success. If you know how to create a positive mindset, half of the battle is won. So what do I mean by that? So I'm going to give you a little example from, a little story which I want to share of one of my clients, which I was coaching last week. So this client of mine is based in New York. Let's call her Sally. That's not her real name. So the story about Sally is that she has been a financial consultant working in a corporate for last 17 years. Now for last 6 months, she's trying to be a financial coach, transition from her 9 to 5 job, and she wants to be an entrepreneur. But every time she wants to come and launch her boot camp, she holds herself back. She's like, no, I'm not good enough. I don't think so I can do that. So during one of her coaching sessions, I asked her that, what is that, Sally, which is holding you back? Do you think that, you're struggling with your skill set? You think that you don't know what you're going to offer to your clients? And she said, no, Deepa, that's not the case, because when we looked at her career graph, it has been only going up for last so many years, 17 years. So she is definitely good in her skill set. She knows what she's doing. So much so that, she gave me an example that, when she enters a boardroom, like she has that charisma about herself, like, people look to her and, they want to get inspired and they literally wait that what she has to speak. And I can vouch for that being her coach because, when we talk, she's very impressive. She's very clear what she wants, but she still has that imposter syndrome. So I asked her a simple question. I said, Sally, what is the evidence do you have to support that belief that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you will not be successful? And she literally had no answer. So, guys, what happens that we all have limiting beliefs. No matter how successful you are in life, we all have our set of fears. And we all have, because since I am a core energy coach, so, I love to talk about energy levels. We all have positive energy in our body and we all have negative energy in our body. Now, whenever we get stuck in a situation or a moment. At times it happens that we hear conflicting voices, conflicting opinions. There is this one voice which is telling us that, yes, go for it. You can do this. You're going to be successful. And there is that little voice which keeps holding us back. And we hear both the voices. So let's call this negative energy as Sam. Okay. So when Sally wanted to be an entrepreneur, when she wanted to launch her boot camp, because she knows she can do it, her conscious, her positive energy tells her that, she can do it. Sam will come and hold her back. And Sam will say, no, don't do that, Sally. You're going to be a failure. You cannot do this. You don't know anything. Now we cannot blame Sam, right? Because Sam is a negative energy. So he's doing his job pretty well. So I asked Sally this question that, Sally, what do you want? Do you want to listen to Sam, or do you want to listen to your own self? And guess what? She said, of course, her own self. So here's a little trick for you guys. During this journey of being an entrepreneur, you guys will have to make a lot of decisions. And when you hear this conflicting voice in your head or your heart, or there is someone who's holding you back, then ask yourself this question that, what evidence do I have to support this belief that I cannot do that? And if you get no evidence, that's clearly Sam's voice. And you have to take a call whether you want to listen to Sam or whether you want to listen to your own voice, which is your true voice. Yeah. So let me know if you guys resonate with the story and if it helps you in any which ways. Because remember one thing, guys, the way we think in our head, our thoughts create our feelings, and the basis of that thought in our head and that feeling in our heart, we take action. So I'm going to give you guys a little assignment here that whenever you get stuck in a situation, create an insight for yourself. Is it your true self which is telling you that you're not good enough? And then, you have to work upon that, or you are just letting Sam empower over you. All right. So going ahead with our enabler number 2 for today's session. So enabler number 2 is that, when we are working in a corporate, we are given goals and, we have targets and we have deadlines and we have to achieve them and we know how to work. But when you're an entrepreneur, you are the decision maker. You have to set your goals. And at times, for a lot of my clients, they do feel overwhelmed because, being an entrepreneur, you want to achieve everything. And when you have so many goals, then you get a little overwhelmed. So I'm going to share a small tool with you here, which I call a smart action tool. And you guys let me know if it helps you in any which way, and you can try it out. So number one key thing is, when you're setting your goals, they have to be realistic. We want to do everything in 24 hours. But when we don't set realistic goals, and then as a result of which, when we don't achieve them, then we are empowering who? We are empowering Sam, because then Sam will come and knock at our door and tell us we are not good enough. And that's not true. The thing is that we are not setting realistic goals. So how do we set realistic goals is, so generally, what's a trick I tell to my clients is that when you are overwhelmed in setting your goals, so you decide a big goal for your own self. Let's say that, by next quarter end, you have to increase your sale by this percentage, or, you have to, let's say, work on your marketing strategy. Then you identify 3 baby goals for week number 1, which is aligned to your big goal, let's say, of creating a marketing strategy. So your 3 baby goals could be, the date when you're going to launch your website, how you're going to work on your social media strategy, and how you're going to work on your technical stuff with respect to your marketing strategy. And each baby goal, you make it SMART. Now, what is SMART? SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. So whenever you identify a baby goal, let's take for an example that, your first baby goal is to launch your website. So it has to be specific that, you are only talking about your website and that particular goal. And you can measure it in a way that, by when do you think in your head that what's going to be the date to launch that website? And then you have to action it out, and it has to be realistic. So when I say realistic is, you also have to take into considerations that if there's going to be any, potential barrier in completing that baby goal. It could be related to your skill set. It could be time management. It could be you need some additional help. It could be anything. So basically what it means is when you identify a goal, you also identify what could be the reason that you will not be able to achieve that goal. So by doing this, what you're doing is you're creating an awareness for yourself. Where can you get stuck? And then you have to come up with option B to achieve that goal. And in that particular goal, you also mentioned that, if you need any additional support or help from others. Remember, guys, when you're an entrepreneur, you cannot be the jack of all trades. There will be certain skill sets where you need help and assistance from outside, because when you're working in a corporate, you have all sort of specialist functions. You have HR, admin, finance, marketing, product guys, everything. But when you're an entrepreneur yourself, so you have to learn everything. But that doesn't mean that you cannot go out and ask for help. So coming back to your website baby goal, when you're setting a due date for that goal, you have to keep in consideration what could be the potential barriers, and if you need any additional support or help from others. And that will help you to come up with a realistic date to finish that particular baby goal. And last, one of the most important thing is you have to rate that goal on a scale of 1 to 10, that how important that goal is for you. So let's say 10 being the best. And if you don't publish your website, and if you're assigning it, let's say a rating of 9, it's going to have an impact on your big goal. So that will help you to prioritize your goals. So a quick recap. You identify 3 baby goals for the first week, align it to your big goal, make them SMART, prioritize them by giving it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, then identify the potential barriers in achieving that goal, and if you need any additional help or support from others. So you do it for week number 1. And then in week number 2, if you think that, it has been working really good for you, then maybe from 3 baby goals, you can increase it to 4 or 5, depends upon that, how much time you have on hands and how is it working for you. So in a way, what you're doing is, this is going to be a good foundation for you to find out on your own. Number 1, how do you set goals? In which particular type of goals you take longer period of time to finish them, which type of goals you need external assistance or help, and which type of goals you basically get stuck when you have to achieve those goals. So this is, one way of creating a strategy for your own self with respect to goal setting. So I do share this tool with most of my clients. So most of my clients are women entrepreneurs, and it definitely works for them. And the key is being consistent with these goals. So that's very, very important. Yeah. So I hope it makes sense to you guys, these two enablers which I've shared with you today. And now coming to our habits. So there could be many habits as an entrepreneur which we can develop. From my experience, what I think is these 6 habits really help you. Number 1 is be your own customer. So what do I mean by that is that, if you're selling a product or a service, wear your customer hat, analyze it from that side, and have that confidence as an entrepreneur in your product and service, and then think from a customer point of view that if you are the customer, will you buy your own product and service, and will you pay this price what you're charging? So that will also help you to work upon your pricing strategy in a way. Then the second is, which is very, very important, is be empathetic. So being empathetic is the ultimate reality. You can be a winner if you can nurture empathy in your own self. The third habit is, I would say, importance of being clueless versus expert trap. What do I mean by that is that, there's so much of depth and knowledge and so much of information we can get if we are wearing our curiosity hat. I get a lot of my clients who comes and says, Deepa, you know what, we are perfectionists, and if the things are not working the way we want them to work, if it's not perfect, if it's not up to the mark, then we cannot go ahead. So I ask them, how is it serving you? How this perfectionism is serving you? How about you wear a curiosity hat and ask yourself this question that, what can I do about it? What other choices can I make? What other options can I see in this situation? What if it can work from this perspective as well? So that will help you to think out of the box. A lot of time, guys, what happens that, we have a story inside our head and we think from that box. And when we think from that limited box, we have limited perspective on things. And when we break that box, then, we get to see lot many options, lot many opportunities, and then you can make those conscious choices. So being curious as an entrepreneur will definitely help you. The next is bootstrapping. Now, what do I mean by bootstrapping is that, innovation is the key. When you're working in a corporate, you have fixed processes, fixed structures, and you follow those processes and structures to achieve your goals. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have the flexibility to be as innovative as you want, and you can create your own structures and own processes. So take those baby steps, experiment with your ideas. Don't hold yourself back when it comes to experimentation. The fifth habit, I would say, is fear of failure or fear of rejection. Now, this is very, very important. So a lot of us, of course, we are humans at the end of the day. If we are being rejected on our idea or on our service, we do take it personally. But as an entrepreneur, you have to ask yourself that, when I'm failing or when I'm being rejected, so what I'm learning from that experience, what is it telling me about my own self? What is it telling me about my business? So that's very important. And the last habit is to have a right balance in your head and in your heart. So what do I mean by that is that a lot of us, we have people who are more analytical and they think only from mind. And there are a lot of people who take most of their decisions from heart. But when you're an entrepreneur, you need to have that alignment. You need to have that strong balance between your head and heart. And that will also reflect in your business as well. So I hope that, these habits will help you in your journey as an entrepreneur. And all I can say is, guys, trust in the process, believe in yourself, tell it to yourself every single day. I have the power to create what I want to create. Repeat after me. I have the power to create what I want to create. If you believe in this, you will do that. So I wish you guys all the best, all the success, and lots of power and lots of love to you. Before I end my session here, I'm going to talk about some business. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm a life and a business coach. And if you think you need a facilitator, motivator, a mentor, a person who can help you in this transformational journey where you are empowered for life with the right skills and tools so that you can make conscious choices, I would be more than happy to come and help you in that journey. So, as a life and business coach, I help people when they are stuck or they are feeling frustrated in achieving their personal and professional goals. I help them to achieve their maximum potential. It's basically a process to be the best version of your own self. Imagine, guys, you can create a life which is more meaningful and more fulfilling for you, and you are the only person who will make those decisions. So, as a coach, we do a lot of brainstorming sessions, we create marketing strategies, we work on business plans. But at the end of the day, my client is my agenda. My agenda is not my agenda. Yeah, I hope it makes sense what I said. So I'm just going to share a slide about my coaching packages, and maybe, I've asked Lisa as well to maybe give you guys a printout if you're interested. So I do offer a package of minimum 4 sessions. And the first session is complimentary, which I call as a discovery call, where I meet my clients and, we share your goals and where you are in your life right now and where you want to be. So we talk about that journey, those baby steps, which we can take together. And every session I charge $70. Because of COVID, I'm not taking any advance payments. So you have the flexibility to pay me after each session. And so this is about the individual coaching sessions, one-on-one session with me, where the real magic happens, the transformation happens. We dig very, very deep into each session, and we create a lot of great insights. So the tools and the skills which will help you to be more successful in life. And if there is enough interest in this group, I was speaking to Lisa that, I can also think about group coaching sessions, maybe, minimum 3 and maximum 5 people from this group. And group coaching sessions work on a different platform as compared to individual sessions, since we are going to work as a group. So the advantages, we learn from each other experiences, each other problems, and we gain a lot of insights from each other's success as well. And that's going to be 1.5 hour session, and it's $55 per session per person. So I have mentioned my email ID, which is deepa.kakkar7@gmail.com. I've mentioned my phone number here. So feel free to send me an email or contact me by WhatsApp. I've also mentioned my Facebook business page. So you're more than welcome to come and have a look and check for testimonials and reviews on my business page. So that's it from my side. I hope you guys have a fantastic time in your digital retreat. Take care, be safe, and hope to see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.